Mark. Today marks 1 week since a gunman killed 19 students and 2 teachers at a school in Uvalde, Texas. Since then, the debate over gun control has once again taken center stage. We are joined now by U.S. Senator Mike Rounds. Thanks for being here, Senator.
Thanks for the opportunity to visit with you.
Yeah, every time we have a shooting like this, there's always talk about change, but nothing really seems to happen. Do you think that this shooting will make any kind of real change in Washington?
I think the message we're trying to share is that those of us that work there, we'd love to be able to find a path forward that would work to actually save lives, that would make a difference. The challenge is there's also a sense out there of people saying, just do something. And for many people, that means they want to see action, but they're not sure what the action would be, and that's where opinions really differ. We recognize we've got the Second Amendment, which we believe in and that we know we won't infringe on. At the same time, we talk about the individuals that actually caused this in the first place and what we can do to avoid allowing these folks to get in and to do this kind of carnage in the future. In Washington, the people that I work with, their parents, their grandparents, they clearly don't want to see this. They don't want to feel that sense of frustration that everybody else feels. So yeah, moving forward, are we trying to find a path forward that would work long term, that would make a difference? We are. Whether or not we'll be any more successful than Congress is before us is yet to be determined.
Now, one of the debates is over gun control, and the gun the victim or the suspect used in this case is an AR-15. One of the questions a lot of people are asking is, what's the use of an AR-15 weapon?
I think part of the challenge is that there are lots of different guns that are identified as an AR-15 style or an assault rifle style. But when you try to define what that is it the fact that it's all black in color, or is it because it doesn't have a wood on its stock, or is it because it has a detachable magazine? In each of those cases, trying to define it and then to simply say that that should be eliminated always seems to impose on other types of guns that we do use in hunting or in self-defense. And in most cases, it's a matter of saying, why is it that this particular one is now being identified out when it's been around for 40 years? There's more to it than that. And so many of us look at this and say, rather than simply trying to say, identify and focus on one type or one caliber, or something that's got a scope on it, or something that has a type of a sight on it, why don't we start focusing on the combination of an individual who clearly should not have had access to this weapon, and then how they got it, and whether or not there was something in the background that should have told us that this person should not have been able to acquire the weapon. We don't have all the facts in yet, but there is an interest in trying to find a path forward that would stand the test of time and still protect the constitutional rights of law-abiding citizens within this country. You simply can't give up. You have to look and see if there's anything that we can do to really make a difference.
If it's not gun control, the other argument is mental health care. Is there anything that can happen in Washington to help address that side of this argument?
There is, I believe, but remember, it's a matter of we've got to be very careful, because if somebody comes to get help, then you don't want them to say, gee, if I go in to get help, that means I can't get a gun to go hunting with my kids. You want to be able to say, this is for individuals that clearly have a mental health issue which has not been treated. You also want to be able to go into their background and legally be able to identify, such as in this particular case, this young man has if he has a juvenile record which has not been disclosed, we need to know that. Now, we're not sure if he's got a problem with the juvenile record, but if it's been sealed for any reason, should those be sealed in the future? Is there something along that line that we can look at? But furthermore, it's not just a matter of saying if they have a mental health issue. The question is it a mental health issue which has been dealt with?
Very good. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and joining us here today, Senator. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Senator Mike Rounds is not up for re-election this year, but we do want to remind everyone that the South Dakota June primary is just 1 week from today on June 7th. The statewide races include governor, U.S. Senate, and U.S. House. You can check your local election headquarters page on our website to see what will be on your ballot. Then stay with KELOLAND News on air and online for the latest election coverage.